Zeller. I'm the Democratic nominee for House of Delegates in District 21 in Urban and Clovis. Gentlemen, I come to you today with a quick question. Those flock cameras that she was talking about, have those been removed, taken down?
I believe, yeah, we did. We were copied an email that the sheriff had requested flock to come take the cameras.
Okay, and so has flock taken We can always follow up on that.
Yeah.
I have a couple things in front of me. It's basically fiscal year 24 into 25 on the opioid settlement money. And what you said you all donated $3,000 to where with the opioid settlement?
$250,000 we had set aside to go to Marshall University as part of a larger grant. So we're trying to leverage those funds for more funds.
Oh, I thought earlier in the meeting you all had donated a few thousand to a local.
Yes, we have recovered points. We've actually supported recovered point beds since 2014. And since the opioid funds, we use that funding to support 2 beds for Putnam County residents.
That's commendable. I appreciate that, guys. I have a cousin. She was addicted her entire adult life for 25 years. She was dependent on every form of government assistance. She didn't work. And about 2 years ago, she had to go to drug court and she failed. And through rehab facilities, through sober living homes, and things like that, she was able to become sober, stay sober, get a job, get a promotion, and become a productive member to society. And I think that's wonderful. So I've got a couple of examples here of Kanawha County's expenditures when they spend the money from the opioid settlement fund. They spend $86,999 on the Kanawha Valley Fellowship Home, which I think is great. They spend a lot of paperwork here. So they also spent. They had to spend some money on themselves, obviously, for dealing with it. Here it is. Union Mission, $249,809, which I think is great. They also put money into the jail system, which unfortunately those who don't want to do drug court, they do go to jail, and understand that the counties have an obligation to help with those expenses. They donated $65,000 to RIA of Hope. And so those, and WVU Thomas Hospital, where a lot of people go, they gave $154,000. I think these are some wonderful investments because we can get people clean, we can get drug addicts off the streets, and we can turn them into productive members of society like we owe it to them, because we do. I'm not going to get into the peddling of the pills into the state, who did that and all that. I'm just going to leave that alone. Now let's look at Putnam County, because I'm a little concerned. $480 at Jersey Mike's, $186.38 at Enterprise, $30.42 at Speedway. This is the opioid settlement money. $54 at Sheetz. $389.44 at Chick-fil-A, $491.96 at Panera Bread, $99.72 at Giovanni's Pizza, $3,519.82 at Searchy, I believe that's drug screening. What's up with that?
I mean,
What do restaurants have?
It's from a training, crisis intervention training. So they put on training, they transport people, they pay for their lunches, they pay for gas. So those are the individual expenses we represent.
I have yet to find any other county that has expenses like that. I've done a deep dive, but
it was training for those drug interdiction conferences.
Okay. Well, I will give you gentlemen a copy of, and here's just one I wanted to point out that in a direction we don't want to go. The city of St. Albans spent $157,674 with the Armored Group for an MRAP. that's not gonna help us cure the opioid problem. The cure for addiction is connection. It's not military hardware, and it's not a bunch of lunches. So I wanna give you all a copy. I'm sorry, I only have two, if you all wouldn't care to either share or, make another copy of Kanawha County's expenditures. How much they spend, where they spend it at, because you can make a huge difference in the recovery of people in Putnam County by donating to these rehab facilities and to these halfway houses. And that would go a long way.
And that's part of our discussion with Dr. Matthew Christensen is having Region 5 vet these applications, because then they have, I think, $397 million of opioid money, and then they can then take it to West Virginia First Foundation, and hopefully, if they do see a project worthwhile, leverage that up to have a greater impact. That's our goal.
I appreciate your gentleman's time, and if with your permission, I'd like to approach
Yes, thank you.
any of these copies, and I thank you very much.